Hello, my lovely students. So, my lovely atoms, a very warm welcome to all of you. My name is Anubha Gaur, your AG ma'am, and I hope all of you are doing absolutely awesome. I know exam time is coming and you must be pretty much excited, but at the same time, in that situation, that ma'am, I really don't know what to do. Ma'am, I'm really not sure how is my preparation going on, whether I'll do good or not. So, trust me, students, you all are going to do very good because you have put so much of your energy and hard work into this and you'll definitely succeed. I am and all the Vedanta teachers are there with all of you. Yep, students, and sadly, this is the last session of VIP series, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be super helpful for you in your exam time because VIP series itself meant very important topics and very important question discussions that we are having. So this is a session of structure of atom and there's already one session that was done. And in this session, we are going to discuss very much important questions of valency, electronic configuration, isotopes, isobars. So this is something that will be very much important, and trust me, if you revise this, questions can definitely come from all of those questions which I'm going to take today. So please stay till the end, revise till the end, and you will definitely get so much of help from this video. Yeah, and don't forget to like the video, please share it among your friends, and subscribe if you're new to this channel. Shower your entire love to this channel also. ठीक है students? Okay, so we'll do all the topics that I told you, and let's start with question number 1. Better late than never. Which of the following statement is always correct? A neutral atom has equal number of electron and protons. An atom has equal number of electron and neutron. An atom has equal number of proton and neutron, or an atom has equal number of electron, proton and neutron. This question can come for 1 mark. So obviously you just have to select a correct option, and you know that when it comes to neutral atom, neutral means it is not carrying any charge, so number of proton must be equal to number of electrons, so that positive negative charge will cancel each other and you'll get that. So A statement is something that makes sense to me. Tell me your answer in the comment section, students. What do you think about the same? Yes, definitely A is the right answer because neutral atom has equal number of proton and electron, but if that will be a charged ion, then your number of electron can be less or more than your number of proton, because number of proton will never change. It's just electron that we can lose, gain or share, because that's loosely bounded to the atom. Make sense? Wonderful. Let's move to question number 2. We are going to have a quick revision, quick discussion of questions, because through Umang series, Umang 2.0 series, I have already taught you all the topics in detail, and one short video also, if you remember. The atomic number of calcium and argon are 20 and 18. Okay, calcium atomic number is 20, argon atomic number is 18. Do remember that this is how we write the presentation of notation of a element, that you write the symbol, and at the bottom part of your extreme left hand you will write the atomic number, and of the above part you will write the mass number. So mass number is given, that is 40 for both the element. This pair is called as what? So students, iso means same. What exactly same here? Mass number. This is called as isobar because bar is for same. So this is a pair of isobar where atomic number is different but mass number is same. I'm going to tell you a trick. Okay, pan. I hope you all have seen pan or have heard about pan. What is pan? So I am writing 3 words here: isotopes, okay, isobars, and isotones, right? What I really wanted to tell you here, pan makes sense how? So students, when I see this, let me take a different color pen. Just see the third last letter, P, third last letter A, third last letter N. This is pan. Isotope means here P will be same, means same number of proton, means same atomic number. In my isotope, proton number will be same, atomic number will be same. Mass number will be different, one thing will be different. Isobars, same number of A, same A. A is for mass number. I already tell you about A, that A is a notation of mass number. If mass number is same, what will be different? Different atomic number. That's what we discussed right now. isotones n will be same number of neutron, means different element having same number of neutron is your isotone. So this trick will be very helpful when you have confusion, so use that. What you say? Easy peasy. Okay, students. So let's move to next question. Answer will be written in the next slide too. So whenever you will download the PDF, which you will get from description box, anytime you can revise. Okay. Question number 3 is again for 1 mark, and the question is: if the atom of an element X has 6 electron present into it, if electron is 6, that can be the atomic number also, because in a neutral atom electron and proton is same. If it acquire a noble gas configuration by accepting requisite number of electrons, that what would be the charge on the ions form. So basically talking about an element having 6 number of electron, you can always write its configuration. Okay, not 6 number of electron, 6 number of electron in the outermost shell. So really sorry, if 6 number of electron in outer shell, the very first shell will be completed like 26, maybe 286, but that is not the matter. They're like how they'll complete their octet. It will complete their octet by gaining of 2 electron, means the X substance will complete their octet and achieve stability by gain of 2 electron. So what will be the charge on X? That will be 2 minus or minus 2, because that's how it gains stability, by taking 2 electron maybe from metal or from any substance. Okay, so what will be the charge on the ion so formed? That is minus 2. Yup, students, this is also easy. What do you say? Okay, let's move to question number 4. Again for 1 mark. These questions will be conceptual questions, and if you know the topic properly, this will be very easy for you. Now, is it possible for the atom of an element to have 1 electron, 1 proton and no neutron at all? And there's only one element that can exist in the entire table which comes with this configuration. Especially talking about 1 proton, that is nothing but hydrogen. That makes sense. Hydrogen we are talking about. And hydrogen basically has 3 isotope, and that's what I'm writing. Isotope is what? Same proton, same element, but different mass number. Mass number is different because of the difference in the number of neutrons in the cases. So this is basically Z plus N, or basically proton plus neutron. Proton is your atomic number, so you can also write it by Z or Z. This is my number of proton, which defines the atomic number, and this is the total mass due to proton and neutron ka sum. So proton neutron sum, and proton is always 1. Here number of neutron is 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 1 1, 3 minus 1 2. Okay, this is my simple hydrogen, ordinary hydrogen, called as protium. Here 2 mass number, it's called as deuterium, dew for 2. And this will be tritium. Why I'm calling it tritium? Tri, 3 mass number. So if I talk about the very first one, here there is 0 neutron, 1 electron and 1 proton. Why 1 electron? Because proton and electron is same. That's how atom is neutral. So you can simply say that's my ordinary hydrogen, or you can also say protium we are talking about, one of the very first isotope of hydrogen. Okay, so that is the question number 4. Easy question. Let's move to question number 5. Write the electronic configuration of an element whose atomic number is 12. And writing electronic configuration is the one thing that you need is 2n square rule, that was given by 2 scientists called as Niels Bohr and J.B. Bury. We call it Bohr-Bury rule, Bohr and Bury rule. Okay, so that very first shell is going to have the electron 2 into 1 square. Second shell is going to have electron 2 into 2 ka square. Third shell 2 into 3 square, and so on. So the very first shell 2 electron, then 8, and then 18, and so on. I am having 12 electron because atomic number Z is equal to number of proton and electron, which is 12. So how you write 12 electron in these different shell? 2, 8, 18's capacity, but I'm left with 2 electron. K shell 2, then L shell M, and 2 in the last shell KLM. That's how it is going to be completed. Make sense, students? I hope you got it. This is very easy. And the name of the element will be what? Do let me know in the comment section. I'll wait for your comments. Okay, students? And here comes the next question. Question number 6. But what is the question? Isn't it easy? How? Let's see. Why do helium, neon and argon have a 0 valency? How come 0, students? Because if I try to write the configuration of helium with atomic number 2, the very first 2 electron will go to the K shell, it will be completed. So what will I write? My outermost shell is here completed. Let's talk about neon with atomic number 10. Configuration is 28. Argon with atomic number 18, 288. My outermost shell is following the octet rule. So students, when my last shell is completed, generally for the very first shell we follow duplet rule, but for other shell, when the outermost shell is going to carry 8 electron, means the octet is completed, and according to Bohr and Bury rule, when last shell is carrying 8 electron, that's what the requirement they want, and have a stable configuration. As they are having stable configuration, they won't lose electron, they won't gain electron, they won't believe in sharing. They're like, we are single and we are very happy. So they believe in that kind of ideology, and that's how they have zero valency, because valency is the combining capacity and they don't want to combine either by losing, gaining or sharing electron. So that's how they have zero valency. Okay students, when I talk about the second part, what will be the valency of an atom if it contains 3 proton and 4 neutron? Neutron is not helpful for knowing the valency, but proton will be, because for an atom which is neutral, when no information is given, consider it as neutral only. That must be same, that is 3. So my proton and electron is 3. 3 electron, how will I write in different shell? The very first shell is having a capacity of 2. Next will be 8, but I'm left with only 1 electron. And how to calculate the valency? Number of electron lost, gain and share. And here it will lose 1 electron, because after that it will complete its octet. Not octet here, duplet. So it will complete its duplet. Last shell is having a stable configuration. So it will lose 1 electron. So valency will be 1. You can also say plus 1, because after loss your element is going to get a positive charge. So 1 or plus 1. I told you a trick also. If last shell is carrying 1 to 4 electron, that will be same as valency. If last shell is having more than 4 electron, you reduce that number, you subtract that number from 8, you will get your valency. 8 minus 5, 8 minus 6, 8 minus 7, 8 minus 8. And that's how you will get the valency. Yep, students, got it? Okay, wonderful. Now, next question is for 2 marks. And the question is, an element A has valency plus 3, while another element B has valency minus 2. Give the formula of their compound form when A react with B. These kind of a question will definitely come to exam 100%. And how to do that, how to make the compound of the given substance, you will write their symbol, you will write their valency, and then you will cross multiply their valency and make them as their subscript. So A valency plus 3, B's valency 2, you just cross multiply it, and when you write it, you will never mention the charge, because atoms will never be 2 atom, 2 negative atom, 2 positive atom. No, atom is a number, like how many atoms are there. So 2A and B will be 3. This is your substance. And I can give you an example. Aluminium is the one that shows plus 3 valency. Oxygen is the one that shows minus 2 valency. And the compound form is Al2O3. But you have to give answer in this only. Okay. It just I have given you one example to understand that better. Okay, students, give me a quick high five. Yeah, ma'am, we got it. Absolutely. This is something that is making our concept clear too. Okay, because question doing is something more and more practicing. When you do that, your concept will become crystal clear, because you know how the questions generally came in exams. Yeah, yes, students. And before moving ahead, just a quick information for all of you, whoever are there in 9th class and still have their exams, but still finding that, ma'am, there are some topics that are still troublesome for us and we really want a clarity. So you can still come to Vedantu and can have all a fast track course kind of a revision with so much of quizzes and a good healthy competition, students. Interactive replays, that when you see the replay, suppose you joined and you're like, even if I'm not able to attend the live classes, and I can attend the replay according to my time and I can revise certain topics. So that is also possible. You can see the replay as you know, it will look like a live session, because you will be able to see and participate in the quizzes and come to leaderboard. Okay, and you can manage the speed also the way you want to see. This will be great for your quick revision. You will be having the entire content we provide, and you can have an access with all of our feedback. This is important. This is a topic from where question can definitely come with all the in-text questions also. Your each and every doubt will be solved with the help of master teachers and a team of class teachers present who's dedicated to solve your doubts, subject matter experts with the variety of micro courses you're going to get for absolutely free, inclusive of all of these things, that you will get so many chapter based courses free. Whatever the topics you want to revise, whatever the chapter you want to revise, you can do that with so much of fast track courses that is going on. So revise, because here less is very much. How come? With a limited time offer that you can avail 50% discount on all the courses of Vedantu. If you really want to go ahead for 10th class and thinking for the same, then also this is the best time. You can go for those kind of a courses also. Okay, so there is a link in the description box that was pinned by Vedantu channel. So you can see that for pro classes and apply AGE Pro to get your 50% discount. That will be great, because this is the time you're getting that 50% discount. Maybe after few days you might not get that. So you can even plan for your next academic year. Okay, plan it beautifully. Right now, if I talk about the 9th class price, that is for 2000. No, with AG Pro discount, it will be for 1,000 rupees. AGE Pro will give it 1,000 rupees for the entire month, and the session will cost you lesser than a packet of Parle-G, and you can connect to that. I can really connect to Parle-G because I've had my childhood with Parle-G. Having the tea and dipping the biscuit and eating that. Okay, students. So don't forget to apply AGE Pro for all the discount that you're going to get. Question number 8 is here. My maths is not so strong, but here I am good. Question number 8 says, which of the following are isotopes and which are isobars? And the question is for 2 marks. So 1 for each. Okay. When I talk about isotopes, we had a discussion, third digit. Same proton means same element. Okay. Same element, same proton, but different mass. So let's select. And protium and deuterium make sense. I have already did that part. We discussed that protium is 1H1 and deuterium is 1H2. If tritium would be there, these three are isotope of hydrogen only. Same element with different mass number. When I talk about argon and my calcium, this was also a question, that different element but same mass, that is my isobars. Third letter A, same mass number. Argon and calcium both have 40 as their mass number. Now the next part they are asking is, explain why the isotope have similar chemical property but the different physical property. So when I talk about isotope, students, they are having same chemical property because the element is same. Okay, element same means their electron will be same, their valence electron will be same. Electron in the last shell will be same, and if electron will be same, the same way they are going to donate, same way they are going to gain or share their electron. If they are combining, reacting with the other element in the same way, their valency will be same, and that means their compound formation, their reactivity will be same. So chemically they are going to react in the same way. Chemically same kind of a reaction they'll show. But when I talk about physical part, physical properties depend on the mass. That means their density, their melting boiling point is something that if mass and their interaction of atoms are same, that means physical property is same. But if mass is varying, their interaction with each other is varying, their properties, physical property like density, melting boiling point will also change. So physical property is changing just because their mass is changing. Okay, I hope you got it properly. Let's move to next question, and the next question says the electronic configuration of phosphorus is 285 because that's having an atomic number 15. 285. Give the electronic configuration of P 3 minus ion. So my phosphorus gained 3 electron to complete their octet. Electron will always be added in the last shell, valence shell, because that is loosely bounded. That is the one at the periphery at the corner. So 2, 8, 3 electron gained means that will be added here. Why gained? Because electron carry a negative charge. 3 negative means it had taken 3 electron. So 2, 8, 8. That will be the configuration, a stable one. That's how phosphorus ended up having 3 electron in their last shell. Okay, that's a non-metal which gains electron. And I wrote the configuration. This 2 marks question is very, very easy. What do you say? Next question, why do isotopes show similar chemical properties? I think we already did this question. Isotopes show similar chemical properties because their valence electron is same because of same atomic number. And as same atomic number, same valence electron, they are going to react in the same way. If they react in the same way, chemically, that means they are going to have the same chemical properties. Simple. Give two important application of radioactive isotope. This is a very important question, trust me. Important application of radioactive isotope. Radioactive means what? There are some of the isotopes that are radioactive in nature, means their nucleus is not that stable due to more number of neutron. Isotope differs because they have different number of neutrons. An element has different isotope, different mass number because the neutron is changing. And if my nucleus is having too much of neutron, then proton, they are not so stable, and because of the same, because of instability, they continuously emit their mass into radiations. So those isotopes are radioactive. Radiations, actively they are emitting radiations. They're converting their mass into energy. So some of the isotope, if I talk about, suppose I'm talking about my uranium isotope, uranium-235 is the one that is acting as a fuel in the industry, and we can generate electricity from the same. If I talk about my iodine isotope 131, mass I'm writing, that is used for the treatment of goiter. Treatment of goiter. When I talk about my cobalt 60, that is the one for the treatment of cancer. We use that. So there is some of the property applications that we have for radioactive isotope. As I said, this was a very important question. There will be some more that is written in the next slide as the answer slide. Now this question is for 3 marks, and again, if you use proper strategy and if you won't miss any of the step, you will find it very easy as well. The atomic number and mass number of an element are 16 and 32. You can easily write their representation. Here we write atomic number, here we write the mass. Find the number of proton, electron and neutron, state its valency and tell whether that's a metal or non-metal. So this is my atomic number. Atomic number gave the information about proton and electron, that is 16. So you can easily write the electronic configuration, that will be 286. Okay, so what will be the number of proton? 16. Number of electron? 16. Number of neutron? How you decide that? My mass number minus atomic number. 32 minus 16, again 16. 16 proton, 16 electron, 16 neutron. Wonderful. Now they're asking its valency. Valency is, as I told you, if in the last shell more than 4 electron is there, you have to reduce that number from 8. So 8 minus 6, 2 is the valency. You can also say minus 2 by, because it's going to gain 2 electron to complete its octet, that is 8. So taking 2 electron means taking minus 2 charge. So that's what is its valency. Now the next part is whether that's a metal or non-metal. If I talk about metal's last shell, valence electron is 1, 2, 3. When I talk about non-metals, valence electron, last shell electron in general 5, 6, 7. Okay, with an exception of carbon and hydrogen. Carbon is having 4 electrons, still a non-metal. Hydrogen is having 1 electron, still a non-metal. So 6 electron, as you can see in the last shell, that's definitely a non-metal. Definitely a non-metal. A big yes. So I hope you understood this question. Let me know. I hope you are finding it not difficult. Yes, students, and you are able to attempt such kind of a questions because this is important according to your exam point of view. I'll wait for your responses, and the class will not be over until you won't do your homework. So this is the homework question that I'm giving you here. Please do it. Please solve it properly and give me your answer in the comment section. It's like whenever the element exists in isotope, how to calculate its average mass, because it's important. When I am having 2 to 3 masses of a same element, what will I do? I'll take average. But when you do the average, you have to take their abundance into consideration also. Abundance is the percentage, the amount they are having in the nature. If I consider the entire element as 100%, what's the percentage of a particular isotope in total? What the other, I'm talking about their amount. So you will take that into consideration as well, and you'll use the average mass formula, that is mass of the first isotope multiply by its abundance, mass of second into abundance of second. If that will be third, then again plus mass of third abundance of third. Here you write total abundance, total percentage. It's like my Sita got 78 marks, my other student Geeta got 80 marks out of 90. What will be their average mass? You'll take this and divide by 2, because there were two entities. So whatever will be the abundance, you'll write in the divided form, and you will get your answer. So read the question properly, give me your answer in the comment section. I'll definitely wait for it and would definitely try to reply to you guys. So students, do not forget that we all are there with you. We'll be there till the end, and in 10th class also, and probably we'll try our best to be available. And students, 50% discount, how you will be able to avail? There is a link in the description box. Same message was pinned by Vedantu 19 channel. The very first message that you see in the chat section. And when you open it, you get the link. Select CBSE 9th class. You can go for CBSE 10th class as well. If you plan it properly, you can send a mail to VCare also to guide you. And don't forget to apply AGE Pro to get that discount and get each and every session in as low as your Parle-G 2.5 rupees, because it's just 1000 rupees that you have to pay right now. So get all the benefits of all the classes of Vedantu and learn beautifully with all of us in as low as 2.5 rupees. You can join me on Instagram also finally, and my ID is chemistry.vedantu_Anubha. Do follow. We'll do so much of discussion over there as well. And don't forget to like the video, students. Please share it among your friends and subscribe if you're new, because that's how you will be able to see all the videos as notifications and never miss any. Don't forget to reach out to me in case of any problem. This is my email ID. Thank you so much, students, for being so kind and lovely, for all your beautiful comments. I'll see you next time. Until then, please take care. Happy learning, my lovely atoms.